Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, your home for all your NFL sports betting needs. I'm your host, Jared, and returning with me is my right-hand man, calling out of work. No, I'm just kidding. My man, Dynell. Welcome back, man. I'm so bad, man. Come on, talk to me.
Week one. We here. We back. It is week one. Finally, my guy, bro. I've been waiting all season for this. I even started betting on preseason. That was sad. That was a sad attempt to do it, but I am so excited, bro. I'm ready to get this slate started. That Thursday night game was everything. A lot of oohs, ahs, and oohs. But man, look, listen, I can't wait, man. I'm ready to dive into these spreads with you, bro. How you feeling?
Dude, that Thursday night game obviously just set the tone for us. We have been talking about it, off the air, obviously, dude, it's going to be a rough start for a lot of these teams. I like so many dogs this week. Just a quick recap on the Thursday night football. If you guys did not listen, Dynell and I were on the Lions plus 6.5. We did take them out of the contest, unfortunately. Regardless, we still did take the Lions plus 6.5. Our favorite bet was pretty much David Montgomery, which he kind of went off. And then Pacheco, he couldn't get going because, we anticipated the Chiefs maintaining a lead. So because they were trailing, Patrick Mahomes did throw the ball a little bit more than he needed to. So Pacheco was kind of, uninvolved. Yeah, dude, it was definitely nice to have football back. But for those of you guys who do not know or haven't listened to the last few episodes, we're changing it up from last year. Dynell and I are entering a season-long against the spread contest. So we have to make 5 picks per week against the spread. We have our 5 picks. We are going to talk about them in order, starting from the 1:00 games and working obviously downwards. And then we're going to give a couple of our potential favorite book plays. So if you guys are still here looking for book plays, because we know some of these contest lines are different from the book play, we will give you some of those as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return.
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Way downtown.
Oh, what a shot from Curry.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
Leading us off, the leadoff batter for the NFL season, for the season-long contest. I've got so much stock in this guy. Dynell and I took a little bit of talking together, but we have agreed. We are going to take the Colts plus 4.5 at home versus the Jags. Dynell, why don't you tell them why we like this pick?
Well, first things first, me and Jared talked about it. We love Anthony Richardson from the door. We think his dual threat abilities definitely give this team a different type of jolt, a different type of edge. They've been standing with stand-up quarterbacks the whole time. Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, dear God, that was a disaster. So to have that dual run threat ability is definitely good. We understand that, he's missing Jonathan Taylor. But once again, guys, it's a division game. This is going against a Jaguars team who honestly only plays one half. I mean, we've seen it all throughout the last year. They'll play flat the first half, come out the second half, or vice versa. And they played with fire. They played with fire against the Indianapolis Colts last year. I mean, they lost 34-26, I believe, in week 5. That was a week 5 contest from last year.
But my favorite nugget, Dynell, is the Jags haven't won in Indy since 2017.
Oh, yeah.
2017. This Anthony Richardson quarterback, I mean, I personally have so much stock in him. I think he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. I'm really high. I have high hopes for him. But this Jaguars defensive line, it just seems a little slow to me. And I think they really haven't went against a quarterback with this much mobility, this much explosiveness out of the pocket. I mean, he literally can be he may have the most rushing yards for a quarterback this year. This is how high I'm on this guy. So with just the divisional dog at home, the Jaguars struggle on the road. If you guys remember last year, the Jaguars were amazing at home, but they just kind of struggled on the road. So with those reasons, we love this Colts plus 4.5, and it's even on the book at plus 5. So obviously you're getting the better number there. But regardless, I think the Jags win this game by 2 to 3 points. I think it's going to be a nail biter, but I would not be surprised if this Colts team wins this outright just because history does seem to repeat itself. Coming up next, we have the Falcons -3.5 at home for a few reasons and a few reasons only. Number one, rookie quarterbacks in the first overall pick making their first start. So a lot of inexperience. They're 0-13 straight up.
Boom.
No wins.
No wins.
And they're 1-13 against the spread. Dynell, do you know who the last quarterback to win in their first overall pick debut for their new team is?
I don't know. It's funny. I think I remember watching it. This was this highly anticipated. I'm pretty sure it was Marcus Mariota, Tennessee with was it Jeff Fisher?
No.
Really?
No. The first quarterback, it was David Carr. That was the last rookie first round pick in the first overall to win in their first start.
Really?
David Carr. And as we said with the last game, history repeats itself. But we got to remember, Dino, one of your favorite defensive player on the Panthers, he's holding out. Brian Burns is not there. So
he burns motherfuckers too. He burn them.
Yeah. So we've got this Falcons team where we don't have the hook on our side, but I'm not really concerned about that. The Falcons are probably one of my favorite money line pieces. But this just seems like a good spot. I know it's a little public, but I'm just following the trends. I like this team. And talk to me about Bijan, dude. What do you think he's going to do against this defense?
Oh, Bijan's going to dominate. I mean, it's plain as day. I mean, like I said, without them having Brian Burns, I mean, yes, he's a pass rusher, but he does do work on the ground. They have the versatility of Bijan Robinson just catching the ball out the backfield. I mean, we even saw him line out at wideout. This man is very, very versatile. He's going to torch. I mean, absolutely torch this Carolina Panthers defense. We know how very conservative they are. They run the ball a lot. So also be ready for a mix of Algier and Cordero Patterson as well. But I mean, Bijan Robinson, I mean, I can't wait, bro. I mean, talking about him, bro, I really just can't wait. I'm waiting to see what this hype is about.
Yeah, and, just a little bit of injury news, obviously, for those of you guys who did not see, DJ Chark did get ruled out for this game. So that's just another offensive weapon that Bryce Young would need that's not going to be there. So I really like the Falcons. I'm glad we were able to solidify this pick and get it in. So, when you're in the realm of making money sports betting, you got to do some ugly things. And I'm talking real ugly. I'm talking about double-digit dog week 1 ugly. I'm talking about Houston Texans plus 10.5 ugly. Come on, man. Why are we taking this Texans against the Ravens, who everybody has all these Super Bowl aspirations for, a.k.a. yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why. Why are we taking this Texans plus 10.5?
I mean, let's be honest. 10.5. I mean, just look at the number. The number itself kind of speaks for itself. It is week 1. You got to understand. I love Lamar. I love Lamar Jackson. I love this new piece offense. But this is the very first game. Think about it. New system, new offensive coordinator. Odell Beckham is a new receiver who's coming back off of injury. Zay Flowers, a rookie, another addition, coming into the addition. Then you got Rashad Bateman, the one person who has experience with Lamar Jackson, but he's coming off an injury as well. So I really see I wouldn't say more like a sluggish, or I wouldn't say like a sluggish offense, but this offense isn't going to be high in full gear to start out the season. It might take a couple of weeks, but at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson's going to get it. I mean, Lamar Jackson's going to get it done, but I don't see him covering that 10.5.
Yeah, by no means would we take this Texans on the money line. We already said we're under their win total, but for those of you guys who listened to our divisional previews, we said we're going to be all over this Texans team this year just because of how much the public is against them. They will put so much money on the favorites that the Texans line would just shoot up. And what do? We take advantage of those opportunities. Plus 10.5. We're even getting the hook on our side in this competition or in this contest. So I love them as a book play if you still have them at 10. Now I will say 9.5 is a little bit different. That half a point makes a huge difference. So I would say I love them at 10, like them at 9.5. So Texans plus 10.5 is the third pick for our contest this week. This one was a last second audible.
What?
Fourth and goal, game on the line. We removed a pick and added this pick. So, Dynell, you already know where we're about to go with this. The Browns plus 2.5. And I think this is pretty simple. And although this seems like, Joe Burrow under a field goal, you have to take it. We did some digging. We looked back to last year, and there's one trend that we just cannot get off of our minds. And that is the Browns seem to have the Joe Burrow number. They show up to play, they show up for work, and they handle their business. Joe Burrow has struggled versus this Browns team. And I think the one thing, because obviously quarterbacks as they age generally become more adaptive and familiar with the game, and they're more comfortable. But this Browns team have one of the most expensive off seasons, bringing in so many new players. The defensive line is top 5 in my opinion. They still have Myles Garrett, but more importantly, Joe Burrow was 1-5 against the Browns. And if we remember correctly, last year Joe Burrow didn't have a camp, did he?
He didn't. He's coming off of an injury again. Guys,
with him coming off the injury and him missing camp again, this just seems like a great spot to get a good number. Divisional dog plus 2.5 against Joe Burrow, who even last year coming out after missing the camp struggled to make plays, convert on third down. I mean, am I missing anything here?
A little added spice. You know what Jamar Chase said just today. That's what you're missing out. I'm telling you what, man. He's like I say, I Jamar Chase really is motivated that Browns team. And like I said, before the podcast, me and Jared were literally butting heads. This is why it was so last minute. We were butting heads on what, hey, do we really believe in this? Really believe in this? And what kind of helped that for me today was Jamar Chase and what he said about the Browns. We've seen this before. Juju Smith-Schuster said the same shit and got bounced out the playoffs just like that. Poof. Disrespecting your division rival is bad enough as it is. And let's not forget, Deshaun Watson's at quarterback. This a former MVP is at quarterback. And he didn't find his stride last year. He was really trying to catch up to the speed. But hey, man, a full off season, 4 year with the same offense, the same receiver. I feel like Amari Cooper's gonna have a big year. I'm telling you. Don't sleep on the Browns. Don't sleep on the Browns in this game.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the divisional preview, you already know I'm high on this Browns team. I have them. They're my favorite to win the division. They have so much value. They have so much talent. And I just don't think they're that much worse given the odds compared to the Bengals and the Ravens. And, I think the Steelers are obviously going to give them a run for the money. But I think the Browns have the pieces. It's just going to come down to, can Deshaun Watson get close to that form that he had in Houston? That's all it's going to come down to. I think we'll find out by the first few weeks. So, yeah, Browns plus 2.5. Love them as a divisional dog. Let's go ahead and move on to the last final pick, the anchor of the contest. This one may split you guys.
Sure.
This one it's a toss-up, but Dynell and I have decided to go with who, Dynell?
The Green Bay Packers plus 0.5 point against the Chicago Bears. Yeah, that's right. The so-called Chicago Bears that has the future MVP running quarterback right now. And you know what, Barry? I want to take it over and kind of start this off here. I understand where everybody kind of feels about, the whole Jordan Love thing. Aaron Rodgers departed, another Hall of Fame quarterback. And you're wondering, why do you guys believe in this Green Bay Packers team so much? Well, first things first, this like I said, this team's complete. Defensively, this team is very tremendous defensively. They got 2 great anchor running backs in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, who I think is going to pound that Chicago Bears defense. They were 31st in rush defense last year. What are we talking about? They just, as a matter of fact, what's crazy about it is that's when they had Roquan Smith. Then Roquan Smith was going to Baltimore to help that defense become one of the top defenses in the league. So how can I expect this now formed Chicago Bears defense to stop this depleted Packers offense? Yeah, they're going to be without Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs is questionable. We all get that. That's what we could be kind of splitting before the podcast. But at the end of the day, like I said, them 2 dogs in the backfield are going to run all over that team. Matt LaFleur is going to call a nice, complete, excellent game. He's going to put Jordan Love in a very great position. And I think Jordan Love got the arm talent in the world to beat the Bears, that Bears defense, of course.
And I think this is just going to play into our favor. Obviously, missing wide receivers is not ideal because you do want your playmakers on the field.
Definitely.
But here's the thing. The Packers were 15th in rushing yards last year per game, and that was without David Bakhtiari. Obviously, he's more of a pass protector, but his presence on the field is by far needed in that offensive line. The Packers have the 6th offensive line going against the 31st rushing defense last year, and they got Ngakoue or whatever his name is, which, okay, good pickup, but, he's going to be coming from the outside. What about the rest of the line? We're going to be running away from him more than not. We still got to remember, we have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, the 1-2 punch. And they're not just, running up the gut. Aaron Jones gets outside. A.J. Dillon can get outside. A.J. Dillon can run you over. And both of these halfbacks can catch out of the backfield. A.J. Dillon, surprisingly, for the way he runs the ball, he is very good out of the backfield. Mm-hmm. I just kind of see a ground and pound, low scoring, divisional matchup. And we got to remember, the Packers have the Bears number. They have won the last 5 matchups. The last 5. And, these aren't ugly games. The Packers, and the lowest total was 24 points, but they've scored 45, 28, 35. And I know Aaron Rodgers is not there, but Aaron Rodgers clearly did not have an Aaron Rodgers season last year. If Jordan Love just plays a little bit better than Aaron Rodgers did last year, I think this team can really win this division. They're my favorite to win this division. I think they have to start off with a bang. And I understand Justin Fields, he's a highlight reel, but we have to understand that you have to have a running attack to win in the NFL. You have to establish the run. And they lost David Montgomery. So, we've got Khalil Herbert back there. Not really worried about it. Who they drafted that other Rashawn Johnson.
Nah, not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. These are players that I'm not too worried about. But yes, Fields is a highlight reel. Yes, this Bears Bears offense can be explosive. But I am just going with the team that is all around more talented and solidified. The only matchup that the Bears win is potentially at the quarterback position. The Packers win every other single box. So with that being said, me and Dynell love the Packers. And it's a book play too. You can get them at the book at the book plus 1.5. So the Packers are one of our favorites. We've been on them all week. I will say honorable mention that was a last second pull was the Broncos minus 4.5, and really, and it's really they missed the cut because of the number. Really, at 3.5, I would have played them because surprisingly, 4 is a key number now just because of the missed field goals and all that shit. Or miss extra points, I should say. But it just comes down to we still have to make sure this Broncos team can score points. I can lay 2.5, I can lay 3.5, but 4.5 is just clearly a different number, especially when the book has them at 3.5 now. So they were an honorable mention, and they were our last one out. So that rounds it out.
Colts still suck.
Yeah, that's too. I don't want to let our emotions get the best of us because we are an anti-Raider podcast. But that rounds up our contest play. So we have the Colts plus 4.5, Falcons minus 3.5, Texans plus 10.5, Browns plus 2.5, Packers plus 0.5 point. Obviously, if those match your guys' book plays, we do love them. Falcons money line, Broncos money line. Those are my 2 favorite money lines for this week. Dynell, do you have any book plays that you're really hammering?
I'm really hammering Aaron Jones all day, every day today. I've won rushing touchdowns. Definitely going to get that. Honestly, I will actually play 2. I will be playing Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns for the prop play. And honestly, it's funny. After this little discussion we had before the podcast, Jared, I'm actually going to throw this in here. This is a very, very bold one. Joe Burrow over a half interception.
He's been doing it. He's been throwing them the last 4 games. He's thrown at least one. So these contest picks, obviously, we like a lot of dogs. It's the beginning of the season. Teams are going to be rusty. We have to get a feel for them. So why not take the points? We saw it Thursday night was a prime example. The Chiefs, new offensive coordinator, missing their key players. It just shows you how much of a change, is a result of a playmaker or a coach. So I think the biggest one that I think people may disagree with us is the Browns and the Texans. And I understand a lot of people have a lot of aspirations for this Ravens team, but I just cannot lay 10 points in week 1. So
Not right now. Just not right now.
Yeah. So obviously these contest picks will be for week 1. Next episode, we'll pretty much evaluate. We'll talk about how we did. We'll go from there. Last time I checked, I know we have about 700 people we're competing against. So first place gets $15,000. Dynell and I we're going to try. We're going to try our hardest. We do want to take this money home, but it looks like top 6, we make some good money. So that's what we're shooting for. I'll try. We'll give you guys periodic updates of how we're doing. Obviously, if you guys are in your own pools and you want to tag along to see how we do, feel free. If you fade us, also feel free. But that's going to do it for us. If you guys want to keep up to date with us, follow us on Twitter at @shredthespread_. And if you're into TikTok, you can follow us on TikTok at @shredthespread. Dynell, you have any last minute nuggets, plays, anything you want to get out before we get out of here?
Oh, no, man. But just a little first time of the year outro. Tell Vegas to bring me my money.
Yeah, so glad football's back. Thank you guys so much for listening. And until next time, we'll see you.